Bristol, Tennessee, moments ago, post-race, that's Joey Logano. Remember, who got bumped by Denny Hamlin going over to Hamlin's car and wanting to talk with Denny about it. You see the crew from the Joe Gibbs team. They were former Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. And Michael Waltrip, you said that Logano wouldn't take the apology over the radio lightly, and the pushing is coming to shoving here.
Yeah, and we can see what happened. Joey Logano pulled up in front of Denny. Denny said, "I'm not giving you a break, Joey," and punts him when he gets down to turn 1 and 2, spins Joey around, and tempers flared after the race.
Hamlin out of line.
Hamlin, you've got to give and take in this sport. He gave, he didn't take.
Matt Yoakum is with Denny Hamlin.
And Denny
I see he was coming for me, so I usually don't see him, so it's usually not a factor.
All right, thanks, Denny. Chris?
I mean, it's Bristol, but it's ridiculous. It's not. I feel like I race him clean all the time, and he's going to do that. So I understand the way he races now. That he's not my teammate, and I will race him the same way he races me.
NASCAR officials quickly over to those two cars as Matt Kenseth celebrates on the front straightaway. It is the 8th time that Matt Kenseth goes to victory lane at Daytona International Speedway, and now there will be a discussion.
You notice that Harvick hadn't taken his helmet off.
No, but I like that the crew members, while standing guard, they're content to let the two drivers talk it out. That'll be the end of that for now. By the way, Logano was pulled away by a member of his team. Matt Kenseth will head for victory lane, and here is the cause of the upset between Joey Logano and Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, when I said that I thought Harvick's car might be aerodynamically challenged getting into turn 3, I thought that's what put it up the racetrack. But I think you can see a lot like what Jamie McMurray was talking about. My car don't turn so good, my rear wheels are off the ground.
All right, Matt Yoakum is with Logano.
Well, he's watched the video. He also had a conversation. What was the discussion with Harvick?
It's Kevin being Kevin, like he is the instigator, like everywhere else we go. So, New Year, same stuff. But, you know, it's trying to help, really, to be honest with you. You know, we had a run. He's going to keep pushing, and apparently his car was tight. I was doing the same thing with the 78 all night, and it was working. But we got in the corner, and he got tight, and he got into the fence. And I was just trying to help, and he doesn't understand I was trying to help. I understand his frustration, but I was trying to help out and try to get to the front and try to win this thing. It's no points or anything like that. You know, you go for the win. The second place, third place, fourth place doesn't mean anything. So we're just trying everything we can do.
All right, thanks, Joey. Chris?
Well, Kevin Harvick not happy with the 22, pushing you up into the wall there, and it got pretty heated. What did you just say to Joey?
I just told him I didn't appreciate it. You know, you know where you can push and how you can push and how far you can push, and you can't push them all the way into the corner up against the fence. So just proud of my Jimmy John's guys. They fixed the car and did everything they needed to do. It was a hell of a race tonight, but, you know, just really dumb driving there at the end. So you got to be aggressive, but you still got to use your head. You can't just detach it and lay it on the floorboard.
Yeah, heck of an effort by these guys. This car is beat up.
Well, Kevin Harvick comes home 11th.
beat up, spitting some blood out, and I see blood around your forehead, your chin, Brad. What is your take on what happened with Jeff Gordon?
You know, we're just racing for the win, and I reckon just racing hard and hit the hole, and you know, everything you watch in racing, you leave a hole, you're supposed to tow for it. And it closed back up. We made contact. You know, I don't want to ruin anyone's day. Wanted to win the race, and that was our opportunity. And, just didn't come together.
Brad, we know that you're fierce on the racetrack, but we're seeing this bubbling over race after race now. Do you think that this is a fair way to deal with things on track?
Well, I mean, I don't see, you know, I've been through a lot of rivalries, and I got a little blood on me right now. And, you know, I've been roughed up and put in the grandstands and wrecked and done all that stuff. I'm still here fighting. It's not going to change the way I race. Race with 100% intensity and go for the win, and that's what our fans deserve in NASCAR.
I think that NASCAR should let this be settled between you guys and stay out of it at this point.
You know, I'm too close to the fire to make those decisions, but I do know that it's my job to race 100%, and that's what I did today. I didn't wreck anyone, but I certainly race hard, and that's nothing to be ashamed of.
Thanks, Brad, for your time. We'll try to catch up with Jeff Gordon, get his side. Let's go to Doc.
Yeah, we are with Jeff down here. Rick Hendry coming up to give Jeff a hug and talk to his driver. He knows how disappointed Jeff is, given the fact that Jeff, take us through, first of all, take us through the final restart there in the contact.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we were sitting there on a little bit older tires. Yeah, I spun the tires a little bit, but I got a pretty decent start. You know, and we went down into one, and I just wanted to get the outside of the 48. And out of nowhere, I just got slammed with the 2, and it cut my left rear tire. And he's just a dipshit, you know. I mean, the way he races, I don't know how he's ever won a championship, and I'm just sick and tired. I mean, that's why everybody's fighting him and running him down, and you know, your emotions are high. That was a huge race for us. We had the car, we had the position. So proud of my team, and I'm proud of Jimmy Johnson for winning that race, not letting that, you know what, win that race. Oh my God.
The conflict with Brad on pit road. You came out, you pulled on the pit road to talk to him. Tell us about what the conversation was and what happened.
There wasn't any conversation. You can't have a conversation with him. I mean, he beats his own drum, gets himself in this position himself, and he's got to pay the consequences. And, you know, I'm going to race him the same way he races me, but that kind of stuff's just uncalled for, and I'm not going to stand for it.
What are the consequences as far as you're concerned with him? And should NASCAR get involved, do you think, or is this between you two?
You know, to them, I'm sure it's just a racing incident, but to me, it's just a bunch of crap. I mean, the kid is just doing stuff way over his head, and I mean, that's just uncalled for. You're racing for a win and a championship. You don't go slam somebody and cut their left rear tire. So, you know, if that's what it takes, then no problem. I can do the same thing back to him.
Okay, Jeff Gordon, his side of the story, and let's go to Dave Burns.
Standing by with Kevin Harvick, who has witnessed another brawl following a race here, this time only from second position. Kevin, talk about trying to push through the 2 there at the end and trying to win this race.
Yeah, just trying to do all you could do, and obviously it was a no-holds-barred there with the 2. He was in bulldoze mode, so just proud of all my guys on our Budweiser team. Fought all day, put ourselves in position to win, and a lot happened at the end of this race, and we were able to put ourselves back in the hunt.
Again, seeing the emotion after the race like this, what does that mean to you, Kevin, about how this chase is being played?
It's being played rough, and you know, it's just one of those deals where everybody's trying to get everything they can, and you just do everything you can do to do the best you can for your team.
All right, 10-4. Kevin Harvick finishing second here tonight.
And while all that's been going on, Jimmy Johnson did the burnouts and has driven into victory lane. Our victory lane interview presented by 5 Hour
today. Congratulations, man. Way to go.
All right.
What a show it was. And that was 31 races in between the last win for Kyle and this one. Little fisticuffs going on. In the end of the race this time, it was Joey Logano and Tony Stewart going at it. Let's check in with Fox's Steve Burns to see what Tony had to say.
Tony, what angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little. I'm gonna bust his ass.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
For a guy that's been complaining about how everybody else is driving here, and then him to do that, it's a double standard. You know, he makes the choice. He makes the decision to run us down there, and when you run a driver down there, then you take responsibility of what happens after that. So you know, he's a tough guy on pit road as soon as one of his crew guys gets in the middle of it. Until then, he's a scared little kid, and then he wants to sit there and throw a water bottle at me. So he's going to learn a lesson, and he can run his mouth on Twitter and stuff all he wants tonight. I got plenty of people that are going to watch for that, and but it's time he learns a lesson. He's run his mouth long enough. He sat there and done this double standard, and he's nothing but a little rich kid that has never had to work in his life. So he's going to learn with us working guys that had to work our way up how it works. I was on the restart there with the 18 car, and he was spinning his tires. The rule is, NASCAR's rule is, you can't beat the leader to the start-finish line. So I was actually pedaling. I was like half throttle, which gave the 14 the run to get underneath me. And at that point, I blocked. That's what Tony's upset about. I understand that he's upset about that. If that was any point earlier in the race, that would be really dumb for me to do. The end of the race, I feel like, is what I had to do. Is I feel like if I got put 3 wide, that was going to be the end of my race. I wasn't going to win the race anymore. So I feel like I did what I had to do there to keep myself in position. I understand that frustrated him and made him angry, and I ran him down on the flat. And I'll talk to him about that. He still takes the responsibility on himself. I mean, he has that right. He has the choice to do that. I mean, he's in control of his car, but if he ever turns down across in front of me again, I don't care what lap it is, he won't make it through the other end of it. If I didn't hit the chip, he wouldn't have made it through turn 1 to begin with. So, you know, I'm tired of these guys doing that stuff, and especially out of a kid that's been griping about everybody else, and then he does that the next week. I mean, he's sent Denny to the hospital and screwed our day up. So, you know, he's talked the talk, but he hasn't walked the walk yet. He's always got his crew guys walking the walk for him.
He said he wants to call you this week. Will you accept that phone call?
Hell no. If he wants to talk about it, we'll talk about it. So after he threw the water bottle at me like a little girl, we'll go at it now. I'm not going to listen. I got nothing. I don't care what he has to say. It's just words right now. Actions speak louder than words.
So you can tell a lot of emotion between Tony Stewart and Joey Logano. Logano a little bit more subdued, trying to protect his version of the story. At the same time, there was a battle right to the finish between Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. We know what happened with them 1 week ago at Bristol. Here's what Joey had to say about that battle.
Just raced for the lead hard there at the end of the race, and wanted to win.
You guys were side by side and giving it all you could. I mean, I know you said that's just racing. Take me through that and what you were trying to accomplish side by side with Denny Hamlin there trying to win that race.
Just trying to accomplish to win a race. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Just barrel it off into 3 a little bit too hard, and then at that point just had to do what I had to do. Just trying to accomplish to win a race. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Just barrel it off into 3 a little bit too hard, and then at that point just had to do what I had to do.
Well, it looked like either Logano or Hamlin was going to win this race, but in the end, they went from the white flag first and second to a finish of 6th and 25th. Once again, we understand that Denny Hamlin is going to be okay, but has been transported to the hospital as of right now. Casey Kane said, just listen to an awesome interview by Tony Stewart. I think he said it all, and yes, he certainly did. But we have a lot more to say about this race, and we will when we come back to Victory Lane.